The word Halla is only heard in very, very few places. One of which is at a club, and everyone is about to get down or woke. They yell, Halla. Or at a Jewish bakery, where someone is ordering a sweetened bread with raisins. Although, with that, it's more of a than a soft H. But in this case, for the game Halla, it is probably shortened from the word Valhalla, the place beyond the veil where Vikings go after dying in glorious bloody combat. Halla, the game, while having those Viking-esque themes, is mostly about two opposing forces running into each other and just dying over and over in bloody, bloody combat. In a sense, though, that you're also controlling that with a card system and getting souls from the dead people to craft more card systems, to craft more cards, to, expand things. It's an interesting little game, and I'm going to show it to you. So, Halla. Level 10. This is where things start to get difficult. So, this game is more of a tactics game than anything. From time to time, cards will pop up at the bottom of your screen, and those are your forces that you are sending into battle. Your forces come from the left, your opponent's forces come from the right. Now, to win this game, you have to push your enemy's forces back enough so that their pillar, which you can kind of grasp, their pillar starts going down, and you whittle away at their forces while killing as many enemies as you can, gaining kills and deaths and resources to then use in your crafting for later, but this isn't the crafting portion of the game. Magic! Ha! So, like I was saying, you choose your forces tactically, because tactics will help you get out of a bind. You choose your forces tactically based on what cards you have that are chosen randomly by 3 every so often. Your forces go at each other, and just as you can see, carnage ensues. We're also going to upgrade some things. Ranged, please. So, also, every now and then, you level up. You level up by choosing one of the 3 symbols here. We have the top one, which is defense. You have the middle one, which is attack, and you have the bottom one, which is speed. All of this culminates in waves of destruction. Just after a while, your armies and their armies are just mashing each other. It's quite the spectacle. I do like it. The whole goal of this game, though, use some magic there, the whole goal of this game, though, is just to keep going, though. As your army becomes overwhelming to your opposition, the game is like, okay, you've completed this well enough, let's move on to the next level, and the next level, and the next level, and the next level, as you go along. And that's essentially the game. Ooh, shit, someone used a spell on me. That's essentially the game. What you're seeing, is the entirety of the game. But to get to this point, you actually have to have some tactical skill. I have not been clicking on cards and keeping up with my opponent, so I have actually got a somewhat weaker army now, and he was able to push me back. If I chose a couple different cards, I'm choosing now the weakest people here, not the strongest, they're going to be able to push me back a little bit further, although I have been upgrading my guys with defense and attack, so I'm probably steamrolling this right now. Which, I will say, coming from how I've been playing it for the past 10 levels, see, I just finished this level 11 now, the game, in its early game, is kind of easy. Although saying that, there are like 11, no, not 100, there's 100 levels here. So, it's a very slow, gradual incline of difficulty. But again, it's kind of a slow, gradual incline of difficulty. Let's see, we're just adding on good people. After a while, you start to recognize and remember what enemies can do what. The little shield guys are 1 attack, but 2 defense, so it takes 2 hits to kill them, via 1 hit to kill them. Let's add some of that. Go for a boo! Nice. Very nice line death there. There's not really much to explain in this game. It's really easy to pick up. After the first couple levels, you will totally understand this and enjoy it. I'm actually really enjoying this game because the push and pull of everyone, the army's forces going back and forth, I have the upper hand, but in a minute or so, the opponent's going to have the upper hand if they choose the right things. The AI versus AI, I want to put this out very clearly, the versus AI is smart. It will it will make good decisions. If you choose autoplay, though, the game's just going to go on its own, and it might not choose the best options for you. So, I wouldn't recommend autoplay. But, you know, I've noticed the AI getting better and better and better as the game has progressed, and it's gotten difficult, and it's really fun. Also, there's a clicker aspect where you see this head right here. You can just keep clicking it and gain resources. Resources are the hatchets that are at the top. They're the top left corner number. The dead enemies, your enemy's forces are the ones at the top right. That's going down, mine's going up. We have all that. It's pretty simple to understand. It's a really enjoyable game. But that's half the game. The other half of the game is well, it's kind of the progression aspect of this game. Speed. See, I haven't been paying attention, and the opponent's enemies have caught up to me, and they're actually pushing back, which is pretty good. But we're not worried about that right now. What I want to do right now is show you the card mechanic system. It's simple. This entire game is simple. That's all it's basically what I'm coming across here, but it's a fun, simple game. So, yay! Let's go and talk about the non-combative things you will be doing in this game. So, back to the main menu here, we have a new thing that has lightened up. We can take the spoils of war that we have, you know, basically murdered for. This was the number of enemies we have killed. We can turn them into ashes. Ashes are what you use to craft things. So, we go here to transform. It's a tiny mini game. We click, start, and move this guy's cup in the background around, just dumping axes and stuff, catching everything. Oop, careful not to miss anything. You'll probably miss 1 or 2 things. They'll just plink off the side. It's fine. I've got enough to just fill my cup of destruction, cup of death. Cup of death. The failed branding for cup of soup. Exit that. Now we have a hell of a lot of ashes. We can use that to unlock new cards, purchase banners, or increase the maximum number of enemies. we're gonna start with, unlocking new cards. 2,000 to unlock a card. Create it. He's just carving, adding on some of that. Okay, we have a 3 attack, 3 defense guy that we just unlocked. So, if we do that, we go back to examine our card collection. We can see all the cards that we have. Now, wasn't really able to show you while we were fighting, but cards are labeled in such a way. We have the image of the card, then we have at the bottom left of the card is their attack value, and the bottom right of the card is their health. Then if there's a word under that image, it is their special ability. So you can see there is a very good progression system for leveling up your cards. But again, like I said, in the early game, I unlocked the first 2. I pretty much stormed up to level 10, and then that's where the flying enemies started coming in. That was difficult. But yeah, no, as you keep unlocking cards, it's a linear card progression system. That's fine. You'll unlock better minions than what you had before, so that you have better stuff to add to your army. All in all, ending up to a good amount of cards I don't know what these are, but I want to know. Then we have the increased maximum number of enemies. Now, why would you want to increase the maximum number of enemies? Well, the thing I've realized about this game is the goal is not to crush your opponent. You can crush your opponent and keep going and going and going until you hit a brick wall, or you can keep your enemy just powerful enough to get that clash in the middle of the screen, but not go over or back too much further, because as you keep killing enemies, the opponent's side of the field does keep going down, and it does not refresh. We have an unlimited supply of people to fight for us. The enemy doesn't. So you want to just demolish your enemy so much that you gain so much resources, while also being powerful enough to keep progressing. At least that's where my mind has seen things. Boom. Upgraded that. Upgraded it again. So maximum souls are 6,000. And also, the game froze. Thank you, Hal. Thank you so much. Yeah. At least that's what I think souls means. It could mean just the amount of souls you can hold. But I don't think so, because ashes are the ones that you do. That's 3 souls. No, I'm right. It's the people that it's the enemy. We can check it again once we go back into the fight. But there is one more thing that we need to talk about, and that is banners. I have yet to buy a banner, but banners are essentially periodic buffs. If you buy, I don't have enough to buy it at the moment, but I could buy a banner that for every 30 seconds your army receives either a +1, 2, or 3 to attack. That's pretty good. Or your army receives health, all the way up to further and further and much, much more powerful, have a chance to soul burst on death and all sorts of things. It's a pretty good system, and you're going to be doing stuff for a while. Also, there's card colors. You unlock those by, progressing through levels. I think the next one is level 15 that I want. Speaking of that, let's go back in and talk a little bit about magic, because that, I realize, I did not talk about. That's actually a very important piece of the puzzle here. So, magic are the cards that are not units. They affect everything on the board. So if you have a positive thing, great! That also affects your enemies. If you have a negative thing, great! That also affects you. So you have to, when the cards come up, make your decisions very carefully. And again, this goes back to the tactics part of this game. See, look, this is damage. Rains above hurts my guys, but also hurts their guys. So, you know, risk reward. Laser beam! See, these guys survived because they have like 5 health. Now they just got demolished. But, yeah, no. I like this game because of the tactics. You can win a battle you are losing with proper tactics and choosing the proper people. I'm going to choose the new guy that I just got with a 3 up, 3 defense. That is very powerful. Oh, we got some hasted guys. Those guys move fast. Soul-bound, whatever. The blobby things explode on death. Summon more of those guys. Enemies and opponents just stack. It stacks and stacks and stacks. I really like this game. If I haven't explained it enough. I wholly recommend you check this game out. The link in the description. The link will be in the description below. Words. My name's been Dark Arts, and let's see how much of an army pushback we can make. We're going to add some more haste guys to get them to the front of the line to quickly hold the line. Going to add more defense, and then I want to hold some range guys to just shoot the back line. Pew, 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 pew. Another thing I forgot to mention is the artwork is beautiful. It reminds me of... There's a black and white silhouetted game that was a PSP game. I don't remember. Does it start with a P? I think it started with a P. I can't remember. It was like a tap to the beat army thing. This reminds me of that. I don't remember what the name was, but it reminds me of that. And I really, really like it. Laser beam would be terrible. Let's summon some more defenses. See, I'm pushing back. I'm pushing back. Unfortunately, they have flying enemies. I don't, so I can't defend myself from air. So I need to get as many ranged units now as I can, because ranged units can, in fact, defend myself from the air. Let's up damage, get some range. Right. I'm not winning, but I'm not losing. Let's get some Soul Burst. Those will explode on death, wiping out enemies as they come to me. Look at that. Look at them all just cower. I think a laser will do good. That clears a lot of shit out. Oh yeah, look at that. That makes me able to progress because I have enough hasted people. Up that up. And yeah, no, I was correct. The soul expansion upgrade thing is to upgrade the amount of enemies you fight, because it was at 600 before and now it's at almost 3,500. Well, that was the enemy doing their laser beam. Like I said, enemy gets the exact same stuff you get, which is really nice, so it's evened up, and I don't know what that is. I'll shoot a laser beam now. Yay! Actually, I should have probably put that into speed. Oh well. More defense! More defense! But yeah, this is a really, really good game. More haste. This is a really good game. And it's gonna satiate your bloodlust for a good few hours, I feel. Attack up! Waves of enemies. Look how many waves of enemies there are. Great. Haste. More people just to throw themselves on the line. Quick tap this guy to gain more resources. There's a tiny bit of clicker, but you barely have to do it. It's fine. I don't mind it. It's barely there. God, the amount of death that is just happening right now. I've killed so many people and they're almost dead. This has never happened before. More people. Maybe I should have done the magic thing. Oh god. I'm actually being I'm holding ground, but I am being pushed back terribly far. Wonder what happens when their enemies just die. We might actually find out. Oh, 3-3 guy. That's perfect. I need a little more frontline juice. Come on. Line. Yeah, wipe them out. Wipe them out. So much death. So much bloody, carnagey death. I love it. Some soul burst. They're on their back legs. This is great. Level up. Wow, this is the farthest I've ever gone with leveling. Oh. I don't know. Oh, you know what happened? I know what happened. When it reaches when it thinks it's a stalemate, that means you don't win the match. Interesting. Alright, well that's Halla. Go play it. It's really fun.